Hey boys and girls, how are you doing today? I'm so excited to be back with you to make a new art project. Today, we are going to be creating some animals out of cardboard. By the time you are done creating today, you might have an entire zoo of animals. Wouldn't that be fun? So you're gonna need some cardboard, and it may be like from a box. I just cut these pieces off of a box that we got in the mail that had some stuff shipped to us. Or you can even use cardboard that's a little bit thinner, boxes from your pantry. So if you have some food that the food is gone, but you still have the box, this would work really well for our project today. So you'll need those things. You'll also need some scissors and maybe a pencil and a marker or a dark crayon, something that will show up when we draw on the cardboard together. All right, gather those materials and meet me back here and let's get started. I'm going to show you two different ways that we can create some cardboard animals today. One of those ways is to make a flat animal that is just two-dimensional, and then I'm going to show you how to create an animal that actually stands up. That would be really fun to do as well. So I have my pieces of cardboard that are thicker, and these are from a big box. And then I also have the two boxes I showed you at the beginning of the video that were from my pantry. This one had popcorn in it, and this one had some granola bars. And if you notice, they're both different on the inside. This one is white, and this one is a regular cardboard color. So maybe think about what color your box is on the inside when you open it up, and you may want to make a specific animal that uses that color a little bit better. It's totally up to you, okay? So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to create an animal where it is just 2D, and we're going to use this box all opened up like this so that I can draw the pieces and put them together. Now, once I show you how to draw pieces of the animal and put them together, you're going to be able to think of a lot of different animals that you would like to create using the steps that I taught you. All right, so for this example, we're gonna make a lion. So on the inside of this box, I'm using my black Sharpie, but if you would like to start with a pencil, if you might need to erase something, that is 100% fine, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna think about is pieces that I can layer together and glue to create my lion. First thing I'm gonna think of is my lion's head. So I'm going to draw a round shape, and I know lions have little rounded ears at the top. If you're drawing along with me, you always can pause the video if I get ahead of you, okay? So I made little rounded ears at the top, and then I'm just gonna close that in. And then I can work on drawing my lion's face here in just a moment, but this is the shape for his face. Now, what happens around his face, boys and girls, with a boy lion? He has a mane, right? So instead of drawing the mane around here, I could do that, but I want to give my lion a little bit more dimension. So I'm actually going to make his mane a separate piece. Now, I made his head this big, which means his mane is going to have to be a little bit bigger if I want it to show up around his head. So I'm going to take my marker, and I'm going to start to draw kind of a wiggly line. And I always want to make sure that this is bigger than this. If this were smaller than his head, would it show up when we glue them on top of each other? Nope, it wouldn't. All right, so I've got those two pieces, and then I've got the rest of this box right here that I can create a shape for his body and a shape for his legs, or actually 4 shapes for his legs, right? Okay, so for his body, I'm gonna keep it very simple, and I'm going to just draw a big kind of rounded rectangle shape. Okay, so we have that on there. And then I want to think about his legs. Lions are not too terribly tall, are they? They have 4 legs, and so they're all going to be pretty short. Now, I can keep it very simple, and I can just create legs that kind of look like a round rectangle. So I could cut it off right there. Or I could go and I could add like a little paw shape to the end of each one of those. I think that's what I'm gonna do for mine. So I'm drawing kind of a rounded rectangle at the top, and then I'm going to add a little paw shape at the end of each one. Now you might be thinking, but why are you drawing it separately? Why are we not just drawing it all together with his body? Well, we're trying to add dimension. Remember what I said? We want it to look not totally flat. We want to have some dimension. And I'm going to show you how to glue these on to make it look even cooler than if we had just drawn them all together. Okay? Last thing we might need for a lion is what do you think? A tail, yes. So I'm going to draw a tail by making a line, and then I'm going to double it. And then I'm going to add in kind of like a paintbrush shape, right? And we know that that shape will be at the end of his tail. Okay, I haven't drawn the face yet, but now that we have all those pieces, I can go ahead and I can cut them out, and then I can show you how to assemble them and how to use the black marker to create some more interesting designs on our lion. Here are all of my pieces cut out. So now we get to go ahead and try to put all of these together to create our lion. So you might need some glue or some tape if you have it at your house. If you don't have any glue or tape at your house, feel free to just lay the pieces on top of each other, and you could see how it looks together like that. It doesn't have to be permanently glued if you don't have any. Okay, so what I want to do is decide how I want to start gluing these pieces together. I think it would be best if I start by gluing the head onto the mane. So I'm taking my glue, and you want to make sure that you are putting it on the back, right? We don't want to put it on the front, and it's easy to tell which side's the front and the back of this piece because this side has the picture from the popcorn box. So I'm just going to do dot, dot, not a lot, maybe put a dot in each ear and a few around his head, okay? And then I'm going to stick it down right in the middle of the mane I created, okay? Just hold your fingers there for just a moment and let it try to attach, okay? So there we have our head and the mane on there. That looks pretty cool already. And then we need to attach it to the body. So I could do this a couple different ways. This, we know that the lion's body is turned to the side because we made it a long rectangle. If our lion's body if our lion was turned and looking straight at us, then his body would look a lot more like just a square, right? With the head at the top. So really, if you wanted your lion to be looking straight at us, could you kind of modify this a little bit to make him be looking straight at us? Sure you could. I'm going to turn mine to the side. So his body is turned to the side, and his head is going to need to be somewhere on there that makes sense. That looks pretty good to me. So I need to kind of see where it's overlapping, and this time I think I'll just put my fingers so I know not to go past here, and I'm going to put the glue on this cardboard because I know it will be touching the cardboard right there. All right, so I put several dots of glue, and now I'm going to place the head and the mane like I want them to go, and we'll just use our hands again for a moment to hold it in place. You don't have to press hard, just hold it in place so it can attach. The thicker your paper or cardboard or whatever you're trying to glue, you're gonna have to give it a little bit more time to attach. Sometimes when we're in class together, we count to 10 in our mind, don't we, boys and girls? All right, so now that's glued together, and I've got his tail and I've got his 4 legs. So, how am I gonna put these together? Well, I wanna show you something that's kind of fun. Think about the way that his legs would actually be around him. He would have 2 legs that are on this side of his body where we can see him, and then his other 2 legs would actually be on the other side of his body, right? Are you with me? Okay. So keeping that in mind, I think it would be great if we glued 2 of his legs on the back side, so it looks like they're on that side of his body. And then we can glue his other 2 legs on the front of our cardboard, like so. All right, now place that with me, but I want to show you something. After you place it down, I want us to think for just a second about how these things would overlap. okay? Now, would it be possible if we were looking at a lion for this leg that's on the other side of his body? Do you think that it would look like it was down farther? Let me move these so you can see what I'm talking about. Do you think that his leg on the other side would look like it was down farther? No, I don't think so. I think that when things are farther away, they look a little bit smaller. Now, these legs are farther away from us, not by a lot, right? But they are farther away from us because they're on the other side of his body and we're over here on this side. So what I would do is I would make the legs on the other side of his body, when I glued them down, I would glue them down just a tiny bit shorter than the ones on the front. When we glue these down just a tiny bit shorter, it makes them look like they're a little bit farther away. That's pretty cool, right? So while I have this sitting, I think it would be a good idea for me to go ahead and glue the ones that are on the front, because I already have it placed exactly like I want it, and I don't want to move it around too much because I want to remember how I had it on there. So I'm placing these front or legs that are on this side down first, okay? It's always a good idea to place your things before you glue them. That way if you change your mind, you can rearrange it, right? And now that I have those glued down and they're drying, remember they're gonna take a minute, they're a little wiggly. I'm gonna pull one of these legs out and I'm gonna put a dot of glue right there. And I'm just going to gently pick it up and slide it underneath and make sure that it looks just a little bit shorter than my first leg. What if it is angled out a little bit? Will that make it look more like he's walking? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna place that down, let it dry, then I'm gonna pull this one out and I'm gonna put a little dot of glue, same thing, and I'm going to slide it up underneath and make sure it's a little bit shorter than this one. Hopefully y'all can see that on the video. And just gently press it down. All right, now it's gonna take just a minute for those to set and not be wiggly anymore. They're still a little bit wiggly right now, so I have to be careful. Looks pretty good, right? So now we have his tail, and I can decide how I want to place it. I can even decide if maybe I made it too long. I might have, right? I don't think that the lion's tail hangs all the way down to the ground. So I could snip it, or another thing I can do is I can glue it behind him. Trying to, ooh, see if I move that, it moved his foot. I'm trying to be careful. If I stick it behind him, then I can just hide as much of it as I want. I think that's how I'm going to do it. So now I'm gonna put a little bit of glue right here. And I'm going to carefully, because my feet are still wobbly. Whoops. Going to pick it up. I'm trying to use my fingernail. There we go. And then I will just place it back down when I have it in a good spot. So for this artwork, the back side is not really going to be a side that we're going to want to look at, right? We're mainly just going to be looking at our lion from the front. Now while he's drying, I can take my black marker or crayons or whatever you have, and I can draw his face and I can draw any kind of designs that I want. Now I'm going to draw the way I would like his face to look, but does that mean that yours has to look exactly the same? No, absolutely not. You can totally make this your own. So I'm kind of filling in his ears, making them look a little bit darker on the inside, being gentle. This is all still drying. To me, a lion has a really big, almost like a triangle shaped nose. I'm gonna fill that in down here. And of course, he has a mouth. Now, lions are not very smiley creatures, I wouldn't say. Some of us made lions in art class this year. I know my second graders, we worked on lions quite a bit, didn't we? All right, and so then I'm just going to fill in and I'm gonna make his eyes however I want to make them. I'm kind of giving him a little arched line and then an oval that I'm mostly coloring in, but leaving a little spot for reflection. You can do that, or you can draw it your own way. And I'm even going to come above his eyes like an eyebrow and then come down the sides of his nose. Kind of like the way that looks there. And I think that his mane could use a little bit more detail. So I'm gonna use my marker and I'm gonna add some lines that are going all the way around. That is looking pretty good, like hair to me, right? Could you do this a different way? Sure, of course. I like to keep reminding you that because I never want you to think there's only one way to do things. You are the artist, and my job is to just show you and teach you about different things, but your job is to use your creativity and decide what you like and decide how to make it your own, right? Okay, so I've got his mane on there. Now, if there was anything else I wanted to do, I could even draw some little claws on his toes down here, but he's looking really good. So that's fun. I think he can dry. Could you, if you had paint at your house, could you take paint and paint some things on him? Of course you could. Now, this lion is really amazing and he looks beautiful, but is he going to stand up? No, he's not. He's flat. He's made to be flat, right? But now what I want to show you is how to create an animal using cardboard, but this time I'm going to teach you how to make it stand up. So how can we make an animal that stands up? This is actually a lot of fun, and just like the lion that I showed you before, once I teach you the technique, you can make as many different animals as you can think of. I know that you are creative and you can do that. So for animals that stand up, you're probably going to want a piece of cardboard that looks the same on both sides. That's not absolutely necessary, but you are going to see both sides of this, where in the other example, we only saw the front, okay? So I have a thicker piece of cardboard this time. It doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be thicker, but it is the same on both sides. I'm gonna teach you this example by making a giraffe. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna draw together some parts of the giraffe that we're gonna need when we make it stand up. And the first thing I want to do is I wanna draw his head and his neck and his body. Okay, so think about this with me. You know that a giraffe is very tall and has a very long neck. Before we draw his neck, let's start with his head. Make sure you have room to draw a long neck and a body. So don't start his head way down at the bottom. So for a giraffe's head, I'm just going to draw in a shape that looks something like this, almost like an oval that's open. We are actually looking at the giraffe from the side. We're not looking at him from his face on, we're looking at him from the side. So here I have his head, and I can even add in little ear if I want to. And then I'm going to make this come down into a neck. And we know that that giraffe's neck is very, very tall. All right. Now that we have 2 lines for a neck, and remember you can pause the video, I'm going to make our giraffe's body. So I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna draw a line for his back. This is also reminding me a little bit of kind of a dinosaur. So can you see how you could turn this into a dinosaur that has a long neck? That would be fun, wouldn't it? All right, and now I'm gonna come down here and I'm going to create this part of my giraffe's body. And then I am going to just close it off. Okay, so now we have a head and a neck and a body. I started a little bit of a ear up here, but do you know what else giraffes have? Giraffes have these little horns, don't they, at the very top. Now it's almost looking like a unicorn. So we have our giraffe's head and we have the little horn and ear up here. Okay, now that we have this, we can start to add pieces for his legs. On our lion example, we made all the legs individually, but for this example, we are going to draw the 2 front legs as one piece and the 2 back legs as one piece. It doesn't matter where you draw them on your cardboard because we're going to cut all of these pieces out. Now, what I want to show you is the basic form for making front legs and back legs. And once you learn this, you can change it based on whatever animal you're drawing. A giraffe has tall legs and it also has very thin legs. So let's think about that for a minute. When I draw a giraffe's front legs, I'm going to make 2 lines that come down and they're pretty thin and pretty long. They end in kind of a hoof down here, don't they? So now I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna move over just a little bit, and I'm gonna make the giraffe's other front leg. Now, what's a little bit confusing about this is, this giraffe we drew from the side, didn't we? This part of his body, we're actually drawing like we're looking at it from the front. Yep, that's a little bit confusing, but you'll see where we're going with it in just a minute. Now I want you to take your marker or your crayon and connect right here, okay? And then I want you to connect it by closing off this shape, just with a round curved line, okay? Now, his back legs are going to look the same. So I'm gonna find a spot on my cardboard where I have enough room to do that. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I want it to be about the same height, so I'm coming back here, but I'm looking at this one to make sure that I'm making it about the same height. Okay, you see that? And then I'm gonna end it in his little hoof, or his little foot down there, and come over and make his other legs. Okay, it's a little bit crooked, sure. When you're drawing first with like a marker or a crayon, sometimes you make little wibbly wobbly mistakes, but it is no big deal. All right, and then I'm just gonna close it off, okay? Are you with me so far? Feel free to pause the video if you need to. Okay, so now that I have that, and I'm looking to see if there's anything else I wanted to add to the giraffe before I add some cut lines in just a minute. I think I need to go in and add in a tail. Remember, we're cutting this out, so I want to make sure that I can cut around it. Great. And then I want to take my marker, and I'm going to draw a line. Now, this line is actually not a part of the giraffe. This is going to show me where I need to make a cut with my scissors. So I have just a short line. It doesn't go all the way down, and I'm going to do the same thing right in the middle back here. Now, right here, I want to make a line. Do you know what that cut line is going to be for? It's where his front legs are going to attach. And then I want to make another one back here. Can you guess what that's for? It's where his back legs are going to attach. Okay, now I have these pieces. I'm going to cut them out, come back, and then I'll show you how to put it together. So here's the pieces cut out. You may have done this part on your own already, but I wanted to show you on camera. I said the cut lines, but I didn't explain that very well. So these lines that we drew, we're actually going to use our scissors, and we're going to cut into them. We're just going to cut as far as we drew. So I'm using my scissors, and I'm going to cut up on those lines. Now, depending on how thick your cardboard is, you may have needed an adult to help you cut this out, and if you did, that is okay. All right, so I have cut all of these, and now we can talk about how to assemble this together. Before I do that though, I think that it's going to be helpful if we draw in the face before we put it together. That way we can leave it flat to draw on it. Okay, think about what we are looking at here. We're looking at the giraffe from his side. So that means I can see one eye, one nostril, right? One hole in his nose. And then on the other side, I'm also going to see those things, but one eye and one hole in his nose. So we're going to be able to see both sides of this giraffe once he's standing up. We can only see one side of our lion over here because he's flat, two-dimensional, but the giraffe will be able to see both sides. So let's think about how to do that. What I want to do is I want to draw in an eye for my giraffe over here. Think about where his eye would be. Now, giraffes have very long eyelashes. My third graders drew some giraffes this year. Do you remember what we talked about why they probably have very long eyelashes? Because of the climate they live in, it keeps all the dust and the sun out of their eyes, okay? So I just drew in a little eye, kind of all mushed together with my black marker now, but that's okay. Now, over here, I want to draw in a line, kind of like when we draw a horse, we make this part on his nose. It's going to be the same for our giraffe, okay? So I've drawn in a line, and I'm going to create part of his mouth by making a line that direction. And then I'm going to draw in one of the holes that's on his nose. And it's just kind of like a little teardrop shape, okay? So far, so good. This could be a horse or a camel or anything so far, right? We've got to add some special spots in just a minute to help it look like a giraffe. But remember what I said, I'm gonna flip it on the other side because we can see our giraffe on both sides once he's standing up. And I'm going to draw in my giraffe's eye and his long, thick eyelashes that help keep the sand and the sun out of his eye. Then I'm gonna make that other line. It might help to kind of look and see about where the other one stopped. And then that way you can make them very similar. Same thing with his mouth. And then draw in the other hole in his nose. Now we know over here he's got an ear and he's got that little horn that sits up on top of his head. Okay, and color in this just a little bit. All right, now then, we know that our giraffe is going to be covered in spots. So you can use your crayon or your marker to color those in. And remember that you can also paint these if you wanted to. You can use any kind of art material that you have at your house to finish off your animals, okay? Now, I did it on one side. What am I gonna have to do on the other side? Same thing, because we're gonna be able to see this giraffe both ways. Okay, so we're gonna take the pieces that we cut and we're going to put his front legs right here and his back legs right here. So you may have to wiggle this open just a little bit back and forth, but what you wanna do is you wanna take them and slide them together. You may have toys or some kind of thing that you put together in the past where it had slits like this. And basically, you're just sliding it together. Now, sometimes it takes a little bit of wiggling, and be careful, you don't wanna rip it, right? Sometimes it takes a little bit of wiggling to get it in there, but it's gonna start to move up. And then you'll know that you have it in when the bottom pretty much lines up, the bottom of his body lines up with the bottom of this part right here. You're gonna keep sliding. You might wanna get an adult to help you if you can't get it all the way up in there. There we go, now mine's in there, okay? I'm gonna kind of try to set it straight. It's looking pretty cool already. All right, now I'm going to do his back legs. So, same exact way. We're gonna wiggle it up in there. Remember, you can use an adult or someone to help you. I am the adult here, so I just have to do it for myself. All right, now I've got it in there. Is that so cool? All right, let's see if it'll stand up. Oh, he does. Now you're looking at him from up above, so what are you seeing? That's kind of an interesting angle, right? But it does, it stands up. So now I can see my giraffe from both directions. Okay, is your mind already going with ideas of different animals that you can create using these two methods? I hope so, and I hope that you enjoy doing this so much that you want to create an entire zoo of animals. That was so much fun. Look at my little animal friends here with me, my giraffe and my lion. They look like they are ready to hang out on the savannah today. What do you think? So I can already think of a bunch of other animals that I could create with this method, either assembling them together in 2D or making them be able to stand up in 3D. Use your brain and your creativity and stretch your mind. Think about all the different ways that you can apply this, not just to animals even, but other objects as well. As long as you have some cardboard or some thicker boxes, maybe from your pantry, you're gonna be able to create some really fun things. I can't wait to see what you make with this week. Please have your parents send me an email. Here's my email address with a photo of what you've made, or you can always post photos to our West Morgan Elementary Facebook page under this post. Guys, thank you for joining me today, and I'm off to play with some fun new animal friends. I'll see you next time.